Hello, and good friggin' morning. Now it's time to continue on with this whole situation. Now, I went and double-checked something real quick, because I had a feeling... Yeah, it was like every other thing that caused the shops to reset, and yeah, it's every other movement that caused the shop to reset. So going here would start a fight, and going here might not. Okay, it didn't. If there's a random encounter, we'll, I mean, there's really no avoiding them, you just kind of have to take them. You should be able to just keep moving back and forth until there's more, well, more mosquitoes to hire. Although I might be looking at this completely wrong. Also, why is this reset? There we go. Look at that nice brightness. Yeah, so I don't know why it does that. Let's try moving here, moving back. Then moving... What exactly would that do? I don't know. And that guide... There we go. There we go. So we'll, can only be level 1? Why can't you go up? Is it just the lowest one in your party? Alright, well, we'll go ahead and call you Devin, the Master of Bees. See if anything else can be sold to replace anyone else. Hang on, sorry. Still getting a little used to the controls here. Because, yeah, it's kind of funky having A and B switched. Which is weird because it's the exact controls of the other Toger, but nope. Devin, the Master of Bees. Yep. Sounds like a plan. If you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, by the way, that's probably good for your sanity. But no, it's there was a thing that Film Cow did a while ago. That's like it's been weirdly stuck in my head for a while. Which is literally just this guy that's that had a whole bunch of stock photos. Online apparently, and hey, you know what? I don't think we'll end up needing these. We'll hire somebody else. But yeah, so basically it was just some guy in a suit that was everywhere, and let's call you Istanbul. Why not? Constantinople. Or no, you know what? No. Is writing the stories about this now? Vin gets an insert. You're in this now. You have become one of them. There we go. Is neutral, and I guess Earth-based. They're just all about that green, apparently. Got the green outfit, got the green neutral, got the Earth logo. Yep. All in for that fairy gang warfare. Yeah, that cracked me right the hell up. That was the best. Alright, so... why train them now? Alright, here's what we're gonna do. These two are gonna go right here. Whichever one gets the kill, gets the kill. That's what we're gonna go with, because there is actually a fast-forward feature on this, it turns out. Alright, now. I'll organize them. Actually, what I want is for you to get this glass pumpkin. Which, by the way, I recall, it should be possible to get the Fire Crest in this run, because I'm not really omitting quest mode or anything, so that should be interesting. Alright, control setup, computer, and there we go. Alright, now we go to the emulation options. Emulation speed, 10 times auto. Why is that not working? Emulation 2 times was working fine. Yeah, I don't know why 2 times works, but the other one doesn't. So, here's what I'm thinking for this run. Because those punches are going to work early on. Probably going to work for like the first half of the game, as far as damage goes. But after that point, it's going to be a little bit of a problem. They're just... shield or not, they're just going to do the same damage. Do I want to go and take that shield off? I really probably should, but... dang it if that would make sense, and I don't make any. And yeah, for all future endeavors, this is going to be the only grinding spot. All of them will go to the gang church. I don't know why Steve was the one running the friggin' prostitution ring out of the church, but whatever. I'm not even gonna question it. Curious to see this this story that was being written about it. So, actually, in regards to that, provided they make it that long, and I guess we'll just replace them if they don't, but if we get to the point of getting a procs or something like that, I mean, it's gonna be a good ways down the road, but definitely gonna have to give the procs to Steve. Need to have their bloody axe. They must have it. Really probably should have done all of this beforehand. But yeah, this is kind of the general gist of how they're training for now. Because they can do absolutely piss all for damage otherwise. Optionally... Like, after this, this is basically what I'm thinking, because one of them is gonna end up getting the fist fight emblem, and then I can go train a couple more up after this. But one of them gets the emblem, the other one ends up going back and getting, just ends up getting a bow. So they're basically gonna be a backline archer, gonna have Lands as the main archer. And then, just everybody else is gonna run up and punch things and retreat as needed. They seem to be pretty good at being able to keep themselves alive, although unfortunately item healing is the only way it's going to go, so that is going to get friggin' expensive down the road, which is kinda why, you know, quest mode is allowed, which personally, as far as fights go, why has that feature not been utilized in more stuff? So if you're wondering what I'm talking about, basically quest mode is like a free battle mode, except you're only going for loot, you don't get experience out of it. So you basically have 5 different chapters, you get different stuff from them, and then you basically place a bet before you go, like, okay, you know, I'll win this fight in X amount of turns, I can go take out the leader in X amount of turns, that kind of thing. So, you basically go and do that, and there's different tiers of rewards based on how you do. And you can go and do these same fights over and over, and, like, for example, end game, if you want to give everybody, like, elemental mail and stuff like that, you end up going and, like... Easiest way is what was the bow kill move? You basically either give Alphonse warp boots, a snapdragon, and friggin' Atropos, and then you just like run up and just beam straight to the leader. I think it's like 1 to 3 turns to get the highest tiers, and as far as that goes. But then if you go for all enemies and then you just have a squad with all your kill moves in it, and all kinds of other ridiculousness. You can't knock people off cliffs in this, but they do take quite a bit of extra damage if you try to. But yeah, no, you can get some pretty nifty stuff from it, and yeah, your people don't get experience from it, but you do get a whole bunch of stuff you wouldn't be able to get otherwise. Like, I believe there are 4 glass pumpkins that are actually buried, but in order to get the secret shop, you need to get 5 of them. If you're wondering how to do that, you basically recruit Deneb, which, by the way, turns out that's not a chapter-based thing. At any point, you can just go get Deneb, so I'll probably go do that right after this. But yeah, guides vary. Usually, just for the sake of safety, I go ahead and make her, you know, fire chaotic, just for the hell of it. But anyway, as long as you spell her name right, as long as they're a female soldier that becomes a witch, that's basically all you need. So you basically go and get a female soldier. You have them recruit a male soldier from some random fight or something. Then from there, they get their Vixen's Whisper emblem. Basically, there's a few different gender-based ones, but like if you have a male character that fails to persuade female characters 10 times, they basically just suck at persuading from that point. They get one called Broken Heart. If you have a female character that persuades a male character, they get one called Vixen's Whisper, which allows them to become a witch, which seems like a lot of extra effort for a class that is... not super great. Generally, they're just incredibly weak. But at least they do have a unique purpose. Personally, I think this is my favorite iteration of them in the series. Because basically what it is, they have a charm move that's just like a passive at any time. So they have... It can't be removed anything else, they just always have a charm move. It's got decent accuracy, but pretty decent range on it. So you just kind of can have them as a bit of a midliner. Otherwise their attack abilities are just debuffs. So they're entirely a debuff unit. They don't attack, they don't really do anything. Typically the way I ended up doing it is I would just give them a composite bow or something like that, the composite crossbow. And then just, you know, have them pick off whatever they can, and that was that. So, getting that emblem is the hardest part of the recruitment process, but basically as soon as you get it, and as soon as you turn her into a witch, she becomes the witch with a little heart emblem on it, and turns into Dennet proper, and that's that. So you get her at that point. I believe she actually can use attack abilities, unlike any other of the witch units. But yeah, basically if you take her to Scabellum and you get a secret shop, it has some different stuff in it, and then you essentially you sell 5 glass pumpkins to that shop, which again, I guess is also never said. Why didn't they just make it 5 pumpkins in the remake, you know? Now that I think about it. Somebody must have tried. I completely forgot that that's how you get the secret shop, so if they did that... Like, that was the rule for this one, and the only hint of it was from the guide. Apparently in the official guide, they're like, you know, go sell 5 pumpkins to this secret shop over here. And that's how you get the fire crest, and, you know, it would have been an idea. Because then somebody, you know, that had played this before that remembered to use the secret shop, I completely forgot about the secret shop. I mean, I played this thing inside out pretty much all my childhood, and I still didn't remember about the secret shop. But, on the off chance that somebody with a non-sucky memory tried it, you know, maybe that's how that would have been discovered. Who knows? But at any rate, there that goes. You almost done punching her. This is really getting tedious. By the way, I apologize. Basically, last time I was saying I would cut this out from now on. This is going to be the last one that actually shows up like this. I just wanted to cover a few of the plans for the run while it's not in the middle of a fight. Because basically right after this is recruiting Glycinia, who will be used for recruiting Labina down the line. I'm probably going to do a whole thing of having those two with two other units backing them up. So essentially they would be able to go up and use their nuke move, and essentially I would have 2 others there to heal them so that they can continue using it. And then essentially just use quest mode to fund the crazy amount of healing seeds it's going to take to keep that strategy running. They I think it's past level 20 or something like that. They get a move that essentially is an AoE bomb, but it takes off half their health. And it's kind of going on with the theme of these guys being joke characters, because it's really not worth it. Like, they do a pretty hefty amount of damage, but at the same time, it's like, okay, you have the squishiest characters you ever could have. If they don't get that, they only have a 25% chance to dodge, so, you know, might be a little bit of a problem. But who knows? Okay, are we almost done here? Because this is... yeah. So yeah, they... you know, they might end up being the front line, more or less. Specifically, I'm thinking about when it comes to Astoria. That's part of the reason I'm going to end up training up... I'm probably going to end up training up 18 once all is said and done, maybe 20 of them. Because essentially you need to have a party of at least 16 to have a pretty optimal chance on a lot of these, and this is why I absolutely loved this one for challenge runs. Because you actually, when you had your castle fights, you actually were required to split your party and essentially have 2 different teams, And you could actually soft block yourself by essentially winning one fight and then, you know, not being able to win the second one. So, that sounds like it would be frustrating, but man, it's such a good way to do it, you know? I wish they'd carried that over to the remake. But they didn't. Like, no. We're not going to carry over any of the cool castle features from the last two games. Like, essentially the way that it should have been, and the way it was in this one, is you go, you know, you split your fights. Essentially you have, and actually at the very end it ends with, like, you have one party going entirely one way, another going entirely another way. And, you know, you have your reserves to swap in when somebody gets tired. You know, like, say you didn't manage to heal somebody on time or something, or you ran out of healing items, or you have somebody that's basically just, you know, worn out their usefulness for now. And you can basically bench them and move on from there. It's a really cool way of doing it. So, yeah, hopefully someday somebody will go and put that feature in. Hopefully. One can dream, you know? One can dream. How much health do you have, dummy? Right. I don't remember which one's my pause exactly. That was that one, apparently. I'm just mashing all my buttons. Oh. Good job, genius. Way to cancel out of it. Alright. I might just leave it at this speed, actually. Yeah, I keep pulling up the pause menu, mashing buttons, but... There we go. Alright, one more round. Two more rounds. Oh, and they got Miracle. I might actually end up using them in the team. I mean, their specific purpose was that they would be under-leveled and, you know, under-trained, but... that's clearly not the case, and if they got a Miracle Emblem, you know what? It'll do. That'll do, little Mosquito. That'll do. So yeah, Vin, presuming you're watching this, do you know of anybody that's implementing those kinds of cool castle features? Fist fight. Alright, who got it? Actually, you know what? This is perfect, because it's all buzzy and everything, and it's a Mosquito run. Alright, so Devin, the Master of Bees, got the Fist Fight emblem. Alright, so Vin, you are now upgraded to Archer. I'm just gonna have you hang on to that thing for now. By the way, this is another feature I really love with this one. Whenever you encounter equipment, but you don't have it, it just stays there. I know some people find that annoying, but as a matter of OCD, I love this! Like, you never have to worry about it, you know? It's like, do I have one of that thing, or am I missing it? No, it is always right there. You may encounter more of them. And yeah. Ideas. Can I double shield you? Oh yes, I can double shield you. Right, who gets this? Somebody needs a weapon. Maybe, you know what? You're the sword fairy now. You're the front line. That'll work. That'll work. Kinda missed the whole point that I was trying to get them armor that I can't afford currently. Yeah, Devin's gonna have his attack bees through a bow. That'll do. That makes sense. Mostly because I can't afford any armor for him right now. One person gets armor, and actually... well, I mean, Vin has a pumpkin. At 3139, yeah, you know what? You get the armor. Actually, for the sake of not having your crazy long animation, and because you do a lot of damage with it, let's give you a bow. Done deal. Whoa, that is... What is that glitchiness on the bottom left? Apparently the emulator's gone crazy. Go get our... Yep. This is the way it should be. Tiny fairy, but they're all tiny. He's the leader of the blues, it would seem. So, here's a funny thing. The controls, they control just fine. Even though it's faster and everything else, the controls are just friggin' fine. Great. Actually, I can't use Ivana anymore, so I guess whatever, she's just out. I might just turn off the music. That'll do. I wonder, he says, with his giant fairy gang behind him. Heck, this is my posse, and I totally have a choice. Alright, why don't you level up from shooting this one? I think I might change him to a ninja down the line since he's not getting anything from his class. Go punch him. A, it'll allow him to emulate their movement, and B, that should allow for some other cool stuff. You can almost do it. Oh. You know what? There we go. Give you some life and let you level up off of that. Nopus, we'll go ahead and punch this one. Also get a level. Just a big old leveling up party. Dead. The nice thing about a friggin' fairy squad. Yeah, they counter other fairies. Great. Can't use all their crazy dodge when somebody has crazy accuracy. And in many ways, I guess that was the whole purpose of archers in this game. What was your deal again? Another punch fairy? Pidgey! Pidgey feels like he needs to be faster. Or she. I don't know, are there male fairies? Are those the gremlins? I don't know, it's unclear. But I will try to hire a gremlin this time around. As there's 2 gremlins available for the hiring. Figure we kill off everyone else. Glacinia's got a bow, so that's gonna be a problem. She's more or less gonna spend the fight running away. I think what I'm gonna do... Alright, I need those... I think the Griffins might not be a threat because they don't have their moves yet. So the Griffins are gonna get themselves counter-dead. They don't have any ranged abilities. Gonna have... Yeah, gonna have these guys take out this fairy. Punch him right in the brain. Try in the brain. And potentially have them recruit this one. Survive this punch, you're in. Good job. Actually, Carmen's a pretty cool name, too. Join us. One of us! One of us! Right. Moving on. Next, we want you. We want you for the fairy gang. Freaking fairy brothel gang or whatever. I think they've got a higher, I think the fairies are gonna have a higher persuasion chance here. They, you know, persuade a lot with their fists, but that's besides the point. They're just having a friendly conversation, you know? By the way, for comparison, yeah, Longsword does 16, their fist does 20 to 50. That's why I gave them fist fight. So yeah, was challenged to go ahead and, like, try this entire series using only this run, so that should be amazingly fun. Now, this one, I know the best by far. Because, yeah, like, this one, I've just basically grew up playing it. Lucked Ever since I picked it up, I've been going about and playing it all the time. Oh, you are about to get yourself dead if you do that. Alright, yeah, try to plink him down. He needs to... You know, Carmen might have to go because they might just try to finish this one off. But here's what we're gonna do. Go over here. Punch. I'm gonna have the other two get into position to, negotiate with this guy. And hopefully he won't get killed off by our newest member. Kinda wish that there was that evacuate feature right about now. Could you? Go up and punch him. Punched. Punched in the gremlin. Punch. Not how you punch. Alright. What are your recruit chances on this guy? 3%? Yeah, that's gonna happen. I can't really use him for anything, and I don't think I can auction stuff in this game, so I guess there's not really a point, but whatever. If only arrow countering was still a thing. Or was a thing yet, rather. Arrow countering didn't become a thing till the remake. Not of this game. Actually, I hope they never remake this game. Because it is amazing in its current state, and I'm pretty sure they'd try to give it the same treatment. So, there's that. You just use a healing item on yourself. You are not going to do damage. Alright. Now. Leave. Negotiate. There we go. I think it was Shinopus that had recruited the other one. That's their persuade rates. Okay, 4%. Let me go for it. You guys are just gonna sit here persuading this guy till the cows come home. Kind of the idea here. I don't really have any way to cherry tap this guy any lower. Also, I just saw the level and experience and for some reason thought he was at pretty much no health. That would have been something. Goodbye that thing. Not to be very racist, but it's really hard to tell what's going on here. Gonna give her an int bonus, largely because down the road they're gonna be using magic missiles a fair bit. I think alignment is what's playing a role here. Okay, I need Vin. I need Vin to come over here. No. I'm gonna go for crappy persuades. As she sort of air humps in his direction. Vin over here. If you're asking, yeah, I can't test the damage. Alright. Heal yourself up. Right, he can fly. It's a problem. You are a prick. I don't know if I even want you on the team now. At least they tell you what they stole, you know? Remake. I remember looking at you, you had so many good design choices here, and you, like, brought over none of them. Oh, wait. Okay, how about that? Join us. One of us, one of us. This succeeds more often than you'd think, given the situation. Of us. Like, yeah, it's 4%. I'm pretty sure it's closer to like 14%. Really feels a lot higher than it is. try it. Probably gonna have Vin go for that one. Alright, so he's gonna move into position for next time. Actually, why don't we have you cut this one in the butt? Slash, it does nothing! So yeah, there was this cool video, that Shadowversity did. Now, basically, I don't know if anybody looking at this would be watching that too, but it's basically a channel dedicated to analysis of different historical components and stories behind a lot of them, which some of them are really, really, really cool. Like, you know, say for example, like historical analyses of something like Excalibur or something like that, or based on the lore behind it and everything else, who would have, how would the thing have looked in reality? How would, you know, what would the whole story be behind it? Which Excalibur comes out pretty disappointing looking, but whatever. But yeah, so point being, they started a series a while ago that was basically like fantasy, different creatures and whatever else. Realistically, what would they actually use? And one of the things was on fairies there, and there was a whole thing on just basically giving them needles. So like if they're moving around fast enough and everything else, presumably they're moving fast enough to just avoid being hit by anything. You know, if they have a little needle that can just go through armor bits, you basically have a bunch of like, friggin' bees that nobody can defend against. Sounds terrifying. Okay. Alright, Devin, you just go do your thing. Yeah, that guy's channel's interesting. Fun to watch. You know what? You go down and help. Need to get as many negotiation rounds as possible. And everyone else can deal with these griffins that don't appear to be doing a whole lot. They managed to get one hit in so far. Okay. Why do you all have bows? You suck at using them. Kind of funny. She's programmed to get a little bit of confidence at the end of the fight. Like, oh, they're winning. I can totally participate now. Go down to talk to this guy some more. Come on, give me a gremlin. Just need one. Come on, you dick, join us. You know you want to be part of this gang. I know you're part of the purples, but you want to join the greens, man. Gotta join. They're taking over the neighborhood. Got a church and everything. Friggin' Third Street fairies over here. Man, I kind of want to see like Saints Row remade with fairies. No, I don't. No, I really don't. Runs creepy enough as it is. Just kind of checking the persuade rate. I really have no reason to persuade them. It's kind of cool how you can persuade them, though. Like, even if you don't get control over them. Because in some cases, like, one thing I always really like to do with the One Vision mod is setting up a bunch of people with Recruit and then just, like, taking their equipment instead of letting them join. You really don't need a lot of those extra units, but just the option for turning the fight around by hiring a few extra people in the middle of it is just too overpowered to really do anything else. Right, I think you gotta reduce them to level 1 to get, or to 1 health to get that super high friggin' thing. but I'm pretty sure 4 is as high as it's going to go at this point. Because the only reason they had such a high percentage before was due to the fact that A, really low health, and B, the fact that that they were also a fairy, so good at convincing their own dudes. I'm gonna have to look at the guide to see if there's some place to hire gremlins. I want to say after the volcano map you can do that. We tried. Yeah, you're not surviving past this turn, so you join us or you die. That's... Alright. You had a choice. You didn't make the right one. Clearly, must at least see part of this situation for what it is. Basically, just a really elaborate initiation. Yep, so that's the end of the fight right there. I'm gonna have to go drink some water and end this part after this. Hell yes. Probably leave, Vin, Glycinia, and the other ones for, getting their emblems. It's dangerous. Now, all the other fairies are accepted, but you're not. Yeah, you can come. Well done. Thank you. Yeah, we've kind of established Lands has some issues, courtesy of, Vin's lore for the series now. Can I rearrange you? Yeah, you go bye-bye. I'm gonna keep her around for story purposes. Basically just, she's not gonna do anything. Alright, so there we go. I got the second glass pumpkin and got some ice chain. And if I did this right, yeah, that's why I went for those options all the time. You need literally none of this. Herman, you're getting stripped down too. And Vin, you're getting stripped down. Alright, so we're gonna have the four. Have these four right here fight it out and get their respective emblems. And then we'll be back after I have some friggin' water. But yeah, this is why I couldn't remember why I did some of those choices. This is why for one of them. Pretty much, she comes with Ice Chain. You always end up getting her at this point. And I think I'm just gonna... I might just leave him with a bow in the future. You know what, that's fine. We'll just leave him with his fist for now. Alright. That's it. See you next time.